What's up? It's your boy DJ Rooster back at it again for some more Rooster Talk. Yeah, thank y'all for clicking, everybody. Welcome to the channel. Got a lot of new people for the playoffs. Gonna have the timestamps down in the description or on the video, one of those two. Help jump through sections as we talk through different parts of the game. So, all right, y'all. Let's go. All right, congrats to Philadelphia. I'm not a big fan of Philly. Never really been a big fan of Philly. But, you know, I love the way they're playing. I do like Tyrese Maxey. Never been an Embiid fan so much and all the flopping and all that. But Embiid is going off this game. Not this game, but this series. The first game, he was not that good to get back in it. But now Embiid completely changed the game. All right. Now we're seeing some weaknesses with Boston. And once again, it comes back to Drew Holiday. Boston, they are missing Drew Holiday because they're not really getting the guard play that they really want, especially defensively. Like, hey, I love me some Peyton Pritchard. He's actually better defensively than people, give him credit for. But they just, Derek White has been garbage. I don't get what's going on with him. He has been trash. And Steve Kerr played this guy over Jason Tatum. We're going to get to Atlanta. I mean, I know a lot of the Kuminga haters are celebrating, which is weird as shit, you know what I'm saying? Now, y'all should go watch my Kuminga low IQ video because I talked about this and I already covered this. I'm not going to go into that more. I'm going to wait to the Atlanta section, but y'all should go check out that video. It's one of my later videos I posted. But from my eyes, Philly, Kelly Oubre played well. Really a lot. Most of the team played well. They were like a well-oiled machine. VJ Escombe honestly should have got more look at the for Rookie of the Year. I know some people say it's consistent, but I think some people say he's inconsistent, but I feel as though he's been consistent for most of the year, even when he's not scoring. He just does so many things on the basketball court. VJ Escombe, he's probably one of my favorite rookies that I've seen. No, Khan, I know Khan Canupa wasn't really going to do much. Even though he's nice. I said him and, Cooper Flag were respectable Rookie of the Year candidates. Like, they are some of the best rookies I've seen for the regular season. But VJ Escombe, I knew his game would translate into the postseason. But, all these awards are regular season awards anyway, so, it is what it is. On the Celtics side, though, that boy Garza, that dude nice. Big body Garza. They might have to replace Nikola Vucevic with Garza. Garza's like a more athletic Vucevic, younger and more athletic Vucevic. You might as well keep him in. Got my stats over here. All of the starters were garbage. I said Derek White minus 25, Jaylen Brown minus 25, Neemias Queta minus 14, Jason Tatum, of course, minus 11, not as bad, and Hauser minus 12. So I hope we can put all this Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown thing to rest. I say I've become more of a fan of Jaylen Brown. I wasn't really a fan of him at first because players that really think they're better than what they are. He had the attitude of a superstar, but he just wasn't a superstar. Jason Tatum wasn't even a superstar until like last couple of years. I'll say last 2 years, I say he reached superstar status. And Tatum is better than Jaylen Brown. So there is no debate about who's better. There's been this new age push to make Jaylen Brown. I don't know what it is. People just go out of their way to try to rank Jaylen Brown. I mean, he's good, but he's not better than Tatum. He never has been, and he never will be. But which is fine. It's fine. But that bench, Garza was the only one else. Well, not only one. Garza was plus 6. Jordan Walsh got some good minutes. He was Jordan Walsh and Ron Harper Jr. plus 10. Both of them plus 10. But I looked at Jordan Walsh more because he had 19 minutes and was plus 10. Ron Harper Jr., I don't know. Maybe he was garbage time or something. I don't know. But Peyton Pritchard, 6 for 16, 1 of 8 from the 3-point line. That's not gonna happen again. Pritchard's one of those unconscious dudes. I don't see. He's not one of those I get shook kind of dudes. So Baylor Schuyler, man, said he was +2. But yeah, they didn't really shoot very well. Well, really, a lot of them shot pretty decent percentages. You know what I'm saying? Other than 1 of 8. Jaylen Brown was 7 of 17. Got to do better, even though he was 2 of 6 from the 3. No, that's free throws. Damn, 2 of 6 from the free throw line. God damn. Y'all gotta make y'all free throws. God damn. Let's see. All right, that's enough of that. Tatum is such a rebounder. He might be one of the best rebounding forwards in the history of the league. He should be in that conversation. This dude is a rebounding monster. He's really a true small forward. He is a stereotypical small forward that can slide up to the guard or slide down to the power forward in certain lineups. Because at the power forward position, you really need rebounding and screen setting. And he can do all that. He's such a versatile player. We talk about role compression. Jason Tatum is an amazing role compression player. You can put him in so many different roles and so many different spots, and he can do it. He could be a primary scorer. He could be your offensive hub. He could be your power forward, rebounder. Freaking initiator of the fast break. He can do whatever at this point. Before he couldn't. His handle was suspect, but he worked on it, and he worked on the jumpers. Jason Tatum, nice. Y'all need to stop disrespecting Tatum. We got let's see the 76ers side, man. Of course, everybody on the starters looking good. Paul George. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is what I actually want to start it out with. Y'all need to, but well, I guess yeah. Anybody who is disrespecting Paul George, man, need to apologize. Paul George, he has been slandered, disrespected. It's crazy. Philly fans are so toxic, and yet they expect the players to live up to expectations all the time. Now, it works for football because football is a different thing. But in basketball, man, they always shit talking their own players. I mean, that doesn't really help. And I say it's a lot more personal because you're a lot closer. But Paul George is 34 years old, man. 35, 36, maybe. He's old. He went through a lot of injuries. Right, his body ain't the same. Paul George is providing as much value as he can possibly provide. If he's not scoring, he does well on the defensive end, facilitating. Paul George has been good, this entire year, really. I don't know what that suspension is about. We still don't know what he was suspended for. So, what was he taking? I think this is some backdoor deal with the owner to dodge the luxury tax. That's really what it was. And I guess give Paul George time to rest up. But so did he lose his check? So I don't get what's going on with that situation. Cause what are Philly fans? Y'all write in the comments, but let me know what's going on, Paul George. Cause I know the fans of the city are way closer and y'all way more tapped in, so y'all know a little bit better. But congrats, y'all. Let's see what happens in Game 7. I still got the Celtics because, like I said, looking at the stats, there's a lot of dudes on the Celtics bench that did pretty good that could get more minutes. They have potential to rise up. Whereas Philly, they played a hell of a game. They played about as good as they could have played. VJ Cone balling. Now he was only 5 for 11, but that's mostly because he was 1 of 6 from the 3. So yes, that means he was 4 or 5. Damn, I mean he was really good. Yeah, so he was 4 or 5 from the 2. He only missed 1 2-pointer. So, but shit, that boy took 6 threes. Well, I guess you're gonna take a lot of threes when you got Embiid, and Embiid playing great. That boy had like 8 assists, and I knew he could get 8 assists. I took his over 4.5 assist prop. Shit, he crushed it, but he crushed that bit. 8 assists. Andre Drummond was a +10. people be sleeping on Andre Drummond. They hear a name and expect how players are supposed to play. Andre Drummond been shooting threes. Y'all gotta get over that. So he been shooting threes. But all right, let's go to the next game. We've got Atlanta, New York. Atlanta, New York. Congrats, New York. Even though I can't stand New York and I never root for all the Knicks, all the whistles they get. Another one. A lot of those East Coast teams just have fan bases and coaches I really don't fuck with. Boston, Philly, New York. It's just just a lot of the toxic fan bases are like up there in the Pacific, Northwest. Pittsburgh, when it comes to the Steelers, it's not Pacific, but Atlantic, I guess. Yeah, Atlantic. Pacific's that way. West Coast. Yeah, he's a lot of toxic fan bases. I'm saying, fuck you, CJ, like that. We got grown ass people, but fan bases on that side of the city or that side of the country, they excuse being shitty humans. We're just tough on our players, and they excuse their shitty behaviors. It's weird as hell. At the end of the day, it's just a game, bro. I mean, I get it, sponsorship, but everybody got their own flavor. Everybody got their own flavor. But, not much to talk about with this game. One of the worst games I've ever seen of basketball ever. And we got to start with Quentin Snyder. Quentin Snyder's a garbage coach. No, before we get to Quentin Snyder, we finish New York. Congratulations. Jose Alvarado, yes again. I keep saying, bro, it's more than just the stats. It's putting everybody to proper positions. When you're running a point guard like you should, especially as somebody who's so defensively tenacious as Jose. Brunson could just play how he plays. And Cat had to mismatch the entire time. Cat's Atlanta don't run no centers. So Cat was going to eat. And Kuminga did good on Cat that first game. After that, man, Coach Brown, they schemed that out. Because there's too many offensive players. I mean, you only put Kuminga on so many people. The only two really defenders they had were Dyson and Kuminga, really. That I've seen. I mean, nobody was good defensively. I don't understand why Jalen Johnson isn't better defensively. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. He's built like a really good defender. I don't understand why. He's a defender. Why he's not a good defender. But yeah, the Hawks. So a lot of people confused why the Hawks, are as bad as they are. And then you got Kuminga haters coming out the woodwork. And once again, go watch my Kuminga haters at Low IQ. Nobody said Kuminga was going to be a star. We just objectively said he was effed up in a situation and give him a shot. Like I said, and then they blamed his loss on Kuminga. Bro, it's everybody on that team played bad. He's not even supposed to be a big part of the team. Kuminga is the reverse Klay Thompson. He's a role player that gets treated like a star. In a positive way. Whereas Kuminga is a role player who gets treated like a star in a negative way. To explain that, so how I explain that is, Klay Thompson gets all the benefits of being a role player and all the benefits of being a star without any of the negative parts. Whereas for Kuminga fans, he gets the worst of both sides. For some reason, he's not expected to, play all these minutes and play a role. But the haters come out expected to be a major part and be the reason why they win or lose. It's weird as shit. Whereas Klay Thompson, they glazes do so much. He's such an overrated player. Klay Thompson is such an overrated player. He's always been. He can't put the ball on the floor. That's the whole thing. They glazes do so much. I watched him be trash in pretty much every playoff series. He had a few good games. Game 6 Klay. A playoff series is way more than just one freaking game. Klay Thompson was trash in 2016. He was not good in 2015. But he just gets a pass. And then when you tell him, when you try to hold Klay Thompson accountable, his fans said, "Oh, he's just a 3-3 role player." Is he an all-star? Is he not? So and Kuminga, they put all this pressure on him. Well, he's supposed to be a fucking role player. And all we're saying, we're not saying he's a star. We're saying he could be. All we're saying is that give him a fair shot. That's it. That's it. But Kaminga haters are so low IQ. It's like it makes you want to bang your head into a wall. They're not just low IQ; they are maliciously low IQ. So they're not just stupid; they're just terrible, malicious, evil people. They can't wait to jump up and just hate on somebody who's been disadvantaged. Like if Kaminga is not good enough at the game of basketball, okay, so what? That doesn't matter. We're talking about the human aspect of Steve Kerr treating this guy as trash as he did. And the organization, Mike Dunleavy, treating him as trash as he did. But Kaminga haters are too stupid to understand that. And it's weird as hell. It's not hard to understand. Nobody says he's going to be a star. But like y'all put star-like aspirations on him just to hate on him. Whereas with Klay Thompson, you put star-like aspirations on him just to jack him off. Like Klay Thompson's never been a star. Klay Thompson can never carry a team to the playoffs. They talk shit about Ja Morant when the whole Klay Thompson, Ja Morant. They say Klay Thompson's so worshipped. People worship this dude for, well, I don't know why. Well, I do why, because Steph Curry is the greatest player of all time. The LeBron agenda was there to make sure everybody else gets all the credit for Steph Curry's greatness. That's Steve Kerr, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson all stealing Steph Curry's shine because LeBron has to put that light like that. Or the media. The media always talk of Klay Thompson. Don't be starting. I'm still talking about Atlanta, but that has been a big discourse for this Atlanta game. So he's a role player. The team got destroyed. Nobody played well. And then they will say, oh, now you want to give Kaminga excuses. No, we just know reality. He's not supposed to be a big part of the team. He's a part of the team, but he's not the first, second, or even third fucking option. He's the third leading scorer. He's the fifth option on the team. And if people blame Kaminga, they all be comments. Oh, Hawks want a Kaminga trade, huh? Yes! KP was one of the worst players I've ever seen in the history of my life. Like when you watch Kristaps Porzingis this year, and of course, when he was with the Boston Celtics, he was way better. He was way more athletic. But his bad habits were masked by his athleticism. But now that he's a shell of himself, you can see all his bad habits. Kristaps Porzingis, offensive, defensively, turn the ball over, one of the worst players I've ever seen in the history of my life playing a basketball for. So yes, even if Kaminga did absolutely nothing, it's still better than what they had with Kristaps Porzingis. Because they also got Buddy Hield, who can at least move. He should have played more, but they can at least move him or whatever. But yeah, that's really all I want to say about. No, that's not all I want to say. I just wanted to hammer that part home. But yeah, Quinn Snyder's a garbage coach. You all know how I feel about centers and point guards. How many times do I have to say it? Until they learn. Any coach whose philosophy is to not have a center on the floor is automatically not a good coach. You can be an okay coach like that. You can make up for it, but you can't be a good coach running like that. And he don't want a point guard. But Jalen Johnson, he's a forward, but really, honestly, Jalen Johnson is point guard enough. He has enough point guard skills where you can run him. But thing is, if you're not going to run a true point guard, and Jalen Johnson's close enough, he's a point forward, then you need to have a couple other playmakers, at least one other playmaker. CJ, Nikhil Alexander-Walker, they're redundant. You talk about Kaminga, at least Kaminga can playmake. These two dudes aren't playmakers. CJ was a fake playmaker. I gave him credit. CJ adjusted his game, but in the playoffs, when this push comes to shove, you have to go back to what you know. And what he knows is shot chucking and being garbage. CJ was getting all this glaze. It's crazy, but CJ's another Klay Thompson. CJ's just allowed to be garbage, and they glaze him in rare situations that he's good. So, CJ's been a star, but he doesn't really get now he has because how garbage he's been. But all I've been hearing is how underrated he's been and how he made New Orleans relevant. No, he was garbage here and made us garbage because of what he did here. Everything I've been saying about CJ showed itself in this series. Everything. Even when he did good at that game one, I was like, yeah, not really. In game two, he only played half a good half. So this team is just terribly constructed. This was actually a good place for Kaminga to go. Like I said, this was like the Charizard Valley for Charizard, you know. Kaminga's handle has gotten better. He's going to learn how to use his athleticism and all that. But if Atlanta is such a selfish team, though, if they was actually trying to help each other to win and not worried about taking each other's spots, everybody's worried about somebody taking somebody's spot. But there's enough room for everybody. The league is deeper than ever. They need everybody. So like somebody made a stat said CJ and Nickeil Alexander-Walker never passed a Kuminga. They don't want this new young buck because they know he's up for a new contract or whatever. And CJ, remember what I told you earlier, CJ is a terrible leader. He teaches people habits of how to make their money and not how to win. And he said this in the interview. You can go look it up. He literally said these words. That his leadership style is to make sure all the young kids know how to make their bread. CJ is such an overrated player. These are the things that matter. When I mentioned the other video, not short, about him not realizing Steph Curry was way better than Kevin Durant as a guard. He can't see the things that guards are supposed to do. All the little things that Steph do. The setting up, the reading the floor, like how he operates. CJ doesn't have the ability to see it, to do that, so he doesn't see it. So he thought, oh yeah, Kevin Durant's way better. And he scoffed at the notion that, you know, Steph Curry will even be close to Kevin Durant in that regard. Such an idiot. Such an idiot. CJ destroyed it. Like, it's crazy. The Hawks trade was a bad trade and a good trade because they really should have kept Trae Young. The team would have been better. But here's the thing, though. He was hurt. And I don't think the team makes the 6th seed if they don't trade for CJ. Maybe. Because remember, CJ was garbage when he first came to Atlanta. But it wasn't until CJ evolved his game that they really started winning. He's like, all right, let me take a step back. Because CJ was trying to be a man, chucking up early shot clock shots as the main ball handler so nobody touches it. If you're going to do that, you got to at least be like Trae. At least Trae going to dribble it for a while, eat up some clock. But CJ comes out, just jack that bitch up. No shot clock eating up, and boom, boom. We just came down the court. That's demoralizing. But if they would have got more, they should have definitely got more for Trae Young. If they would have got more, yeah. Kispert wasn't really doing much. Atlanta really is a bad franchise who got lucky. They got lucky with New Orleans because New Orleans, we offered them an extra pick. They didn't fleece New Orleans with that Derek Queen. We offered them more. Stupid. And then the trade's a bit iffy. That Trae Young trade was garbage. Trading away Luke Kennard, garbage. That was a stupid play. Not having a center on the team, garbage. So Atlanta has way more problems than Jonathan Kuminga. Atlanta's in probably one of the worst positions. They're in a turning point. They could go really good or really, really bad. They have a lot of really good pieces, and they could actually keep everybody. They just add in a center. And I think everybody's going to be able to take a leap. But you got to tell Nickeil Alexander-Walker and CJ, hey, y'all got to play and make more. So y'all can still go get y'all buckets. I ain't asking y'all to be true point guards. But y'all got to pass that bitch a little bit better. Y'all have to be a little bit better at playmaking. And CJ has to go back to practicing what he was doing. Like CJ, that last stretch of the year, he was passing it. He was playmaking. He was doing what he was supposed to do. But I don't know. Chris Snyder will say he's garbage. He needs to go. If once again, I can forgive him for not running 2 point guards. He got Gabe Vincent. He doesn't give him that much run, but Gabe Vincent is, he's like a backup. He's like a third point guard, really. But here's what it is. So let's get to the last game of the day. Denver. I ain't gonna have too much to say about this one. Y'all gotta stop hating. Every playoffs is the same thing. If people don't learn from their mistakes, every time a player just has a bad playoff series after they've shown greatness already, Jokic's been exposed. His son Jokic will be fine. He's still a top 10 player of all time. Snapshot mentality. People need to understand. Reality don't work in snapshots. What you see now isn't always what you're going to get, and it's not always what you have gotten. Same like I talk about CJ. Whenever CJ was doing good, snapshot. Oh, he's always been underrated, and no. It's okay to acknowledge when people have gotten better. And it's okay to acknowledge when people have gotten worse. For some reason, fans, they see a player and they think they've always been this bad, or they always will be. They had a bad season. And we go bad too. I'm seeing all the Gobert glazed, and people be glazing this dude. Like, son, Gobert has gotten better. It's okay to acknowledge that players get better. Gobert, he was an overrated defender. He used to get punched on all the time. He was pretty good. And Jokic, there was a game when Gobert was trying his best, and Jokic said, "I got 50, brother." So good defensive players get better over time. It's not just offensive players. That's why Wemby winning unanimous, defensive player of the year. I'll get into that. I'm gonna do my award show video a little later. But Nikola Jokic is still one of the best players of all time. I still got him as a top 10 player of all time. And people pick and choose when they care about defense. Y'all, people suck off Luka. You know what I'm saying? Steve Nash, Dirk Nowitzki, they're the worst defenders of all time. Jokic is a better defender than Steve Nash, better defender than Luka. And Luka has gotten better defensively. And Jokic used to be really good defensively, actually. His defensive positioning was really nice. I don't know what happened that Jokic, well, I think his energy, and once again, he's not in the best shape. Because he didn't come into the season in the best shape this year. And that injury. Y'all don't understand how much energy is a requirement. Jokic is already operating on the margins with his size. So he needed everything he could get. So just being a step slower. Especially a guy like that, it affects your defensive positioning a lot. And then he has momentum. Changing direction is not easy for a big guy like that. So it is what it is. So let's look at some of these Denver Nuggets stats. I ain't even look at some Atlanta stats, so we don't need to go through that. We need to go through that bloodbath. So the Nuggets. But I will say before I go to the stats, shout out to Cam Johnson. I feel bad for him, bro, because he was hooping in this game. He showed up till the end, but he choked at the end. But it's tough to ask a player who was playing Brooklyn for so long, who wasn't really playing for anything, any stakes or nothing. And then you put him on a championship team and ask him to win the game for you, but there was a lot of pressure on him. Kind of feel bad for him, but he did his thing. He balled out. Tyus Jones, he was doing pretty good. He had some good minutes. Does the stats say it? Yep, the stats do say that. Yeah, right. So the stats match my eyes. So I wrote down Tyus Jones, and he's the only one that's plus on the whole team. And you know why? Because he's your point guard. Somebody can control the offense, you know what I'm saying? And when Jokic, who's normally a point guard, that he wasn't really doing as well, he even said he wasn't facilitating as well. He was a step slow. Passing through those tight windows, those windows are closed like this. That's why passing is such a unique skill. Passing ain't just guaranteed. People underestimate how much of a skill passing is. And being off affects your passing game too. And I'm not making excuses for Jokic like that, you know what I'm saying? Don't think like that. Judge everything based on the merits and the data presented. You can compare two players. Like, this is green, this is red. You know what I'm saying? And an excuse, the definition of an excuse is justification for something happening. A reason is just causality. X led to Y. Understanding X leads to Y. That you're not saying whether it's good or bad. You're just stating a fact. It is what it is. It's not excuses. I'm not. Joker's got to be better. But I mean, that's just part of life. It's just part of it. Like 2016 stuff. He was hobbled. Oh, I'll make excuses for stuff like son. I saw Kevin Love guarding fucking Steph Curry in 2016. Of course that dude was hobbled. What are you talking about? You could watch somebody and see. Jokic just wasn't himself. Now, all credit, he was good enough, but don't get it wrong though. He was good enough to still help this team win. He still needed to play better, and he didn't play better because of what he did or couldn't do. So that's part of it. I'm not excusing for that, but I just understand reality. And so let's talk about the Timberwolves. Man, I actually had a few preseason picks for the Timberwolves. And I cashed out a few of them when Anthony Edwards got hurt early on in the season. But I did keep a few. And so I really think that the Timberwolves they were my sneaky pick. Like even through the year, they just confirmed what I was thinking all throughout. They're the most well-oiled machine. They're a well-oiled machine. They're the most familiar. They have the most chemistry. Chemistry matters. All these teams who keep changing players and changing coaches, stability matters. Especially when your players go down, this is what happens. You have stability. Chicago is an unstable organization who will never be good, no matter how many draft picks, no matter what. They keep giving away their best players. Ayu Dosunmu should not be on Minnesota right now. I'm glad he is. I like Anthony Edwards. So maybe Ant can actually come back. If Minnesota could win a couple games, and if Ant has I think what Curry was out a month. Damn. So, but Curry's older, so Ant's a little bit younger. So maybe give him 2 weeks, 3 weeks. If he can come back, I think Minnesota can make some noise. If they could get, because I really like the matchup. Spurs are inexperienced. They got Rudy Gobert, French on French. It's time for some French on French crime. Oui. Let's go. I'm looking for. And Israel 85 came back. I don't know if he's still doing NBA voiceovers. I saw a video of his not too long ago. Oh yeah, I think it was an NBA voiceover. Israel 85, welcome back. NBA trash talk. And then they got the other the Dublin dude. They got a few of them now. But what's the guy that talks robot? He's Zion this. Hey, yes, John. Hey, shout it. And he dubs over Anthony Edwards like that. What's that dude's name? No, Israel 85 was a different dude. He did the nigga Turtles and shit like that. You also watch the old nigga Turtles. Ninja Turtles, but they're actually ninjas. But I don't know. I guess I'm rambling at this point. Let's see. Minnesota. Yeah, I think Minnesota do good. So, I guess at this point, hopefully Minnesota has enough time to get Anthony Edwards back. But if not, I think they're good enough to take a few games. Because once again, the Spurs were trash last year. They ain't really been this far. The one thing I will say, the Spurs get a lot of calls. The refs love the Spurs. So that's gonna be I really feel like that's the only reason that they could win this is if on the refs. But I really like this matchup. I like Gobert against Wemby. And I really like Julius Randle against Wemby because Zion is like the anti-Wemby. Zion is a Wemby killer. That's why I definitely want to keep Zion because he destroys Wemby in the matchup. They're low center of gravity and he's like a big bowling ball. And that tall, lanky dude. And he'll yam on you. Julius Randle is the same archetype of player as Zion. So I really like having two players that could actually deal with Wemby. And it's the guard, so really the guard. So how are you going to deal with the Spurs guards? That's really what's going to come down to. But I don't know. We got to see if Fox, because he has some allegations of being a choker. But I think Fox is going to do good. You know what I'm saying? But, all right. Now I'm done. Thank y'all for watching. And I have some end videos here. Check out my 18 essential rules for basketball. Really, that's really my video that it's like a thesis of the channel, really. And to really understand how to analyze players and how to break down the tape, understanding what the 18 rules that you need to have are. is essential, because then you can see a player and say, oh, they're doing some of these, or they're doing X, Y, and Z. You can put them all together and add them up. So check it out. Browse around the channel. I got some shorts. I talk music as well, sports and hip hop. But I got to do a lot. I do a few other little music things too. I be freestyling. I'm doing a whole bunch of stuff. But y'all know what it is. I can talk all day. I'm your boy, DJ Rooster. Wake your ass up, 'cause the walls never sleep, baby.